When my mom was younger, she stayed with some other ladies at a friend's house in an apartment, and they all settled down for the night in the living room, and they heard this scratching noise. At first, they hoped it was just going to go away. It was some noise outside, but it kept going. It kept scratch, scratch, scratch over and over again. And they started whispering to each other, saying, "What is that?" And maybe somebody should get up and check. But they were all too afraid. They were petrified, and so they just stayed right where they were. Then the noise stopped, but within a minute, the lady next door started screaming, and there's this boom, boom, boom. And it turns out, once the police were called and everything, it was a guy with a machete, and he was hacking into the next door neighbor's apartment because he was so frustrated he couldn't get into the apartment where my mom was staying. Turns out he had been working and working and working that door, and the police officer said, "Man, it was a good thing he gave up when he did." And the police officer went and pushed the door, and it fell off its frame. And they were that close to coming in contact with this crazed guy with this machete. And it just goes to show you just how intense our experiences can be and how fear can influence those experiences. Nobody wanted to get up and make a move. They were all just petrified, even when they recognized they were in danger. Fear has that kind of impact. It is a big deal. Fear reveals a lot about us. It reveals what we respect, what we care about, what we believe, what we think is important, what we'll run from, what we'll run to, or what will be paralyzed to do nothing about it all. Fear kind of exposes all that. And wisdom knows that fear can be a plus or a minus, a positive or a negative. Negatively, Proverbs 3:26 says, "Don't be afraid of sudden fear or of the onslaught of the wicked when it comes, because the Lord will be your confidence." Proverbs 29:25 says, "The fear of man is a snare." That is, it causes us to be unreasonable when we panic over what people can do, might do, or actually do to us. Proverbs 28:1 says, "The wicked flee when no one is pursuing." That is, their own conscience, their own fear inside of them is eating them away, and so they become cowards. But Proverbs also talks about a positive element when it comes to fear, and it uses this term, fear of the Lord. Proverbs 1:7 and 9:10 both tell us to fear the Lord, and that's the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 14:2 says, integrity comes when we fear the Lord. That is, we have the character and the conduct that we need to have to live right. So here's the thing about fear. A lot of times you think, oh, we should just be fearless. We should never fear anything. But really, the balance of wisdom is this, is that we learn to fear the right thing. Why? Because fear has a lot of respect and a lot of reverence and a lot of awe to it. Therefore, we need to be people who are respecting and have an awe for the right things. Look, Scripture doesn't want us to be fearless as much as it wants us to fear the right things, to have the right respect, to have the right awe, to have the right care about, to think the right things are important and believe the right things and have them as first priority. So, what does wisdom say about this feeling of fear? It doesn't say fear nothing. It says fear God.